Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped podcast. My name is Jacob Gabel.
And my name is Jacob Wurtz. Guys, welcome to episode 206. If this is your first time joining us, first of all, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We actually have 5 main formats of our show. So first, we have 1442 episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand. Okay, in these ones, we go over our anecdotal experiences with things like mindset and mentality. We then pass on tips and advice to you guys to then apply to your own lives. Next, we have physical vitality episodes. In these ones, we cover the physical side of our brand. In these ones, we really get to showcase our expertise because you have 2 certified personal trainers here. So in these ones, we cover everything that we offer through our Untapped training app, which is powered by the First Form Performance platform. In addition to that, we also go over everything to do with the gym, workouts, nutrition, diet, supplements, trending articles or topics within the fitness industry. Guys, these physical vitality episodes, like what we're about to hop into, they are full of free game, especially ones like tonight, or today, I should say. So make sure you pay attention.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. All right, on to our third format, guys. We have our third format. That is our breaking news format. Sorry if you heard some noises in the background there. Producer Mitch is having some struggles. But anyways, on to our third format. That is our breaking news format. It is a current event-based format. We sit down and touch on current events, current articles going on in today's world. We also talk about the solutions to these events and how you as a daily citizen, like all 3 of us in here, can help with those daily current events. Now, on to our fourth format. That is our Knights Table format. It is our masculinity-based format. Masculinity is a big deal to us here at Untapped. We host men's workouts twice a month for that reason. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind with the men's content, all 3 of us in here are not perfect men. The only perfect man to ever walk this earth is Jesus Christ. Now, on to our 5th format. That is our guest format. That was our last episode with the boys from Vosa's Nutrition. Phenomenal listen. We'll touch on that a little bit in a second here. Sure. But we sit down with entrepreneurs, fitness professionals, athletes, doctors, anybody who brings you a great story or some great value we want to talk to. We learn a lot from these episodes. You, in turn, will also learn a lot from these episodes. Now, our last thing to introduce before the main content of the show and the fact of the day is our producer and my brother, Mitchell Gabel.
What's cracking?
What's up, dude?
We're so back.
What's it like having a mic again?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Hey, at least he's honest this episode. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Well, I say we just hop right into it. If you're ready for us, Mitch.
Sure.
Fact of the day, what you got?
A hippopotamus sweat is red.
Whoa. Hey, hold on.
Blood. This red pigment provides a natural sunblock and also prevents bacterial growth on their skin. Did you know?
It's kind of an interesting switch up.
That's an interesting fact.
That is a phenomenally interesting fact, actually. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's wow.
By the way, hippopotamus, terrifying creatures.
Yeah.
Like never would in my life would I ever want to see one of those within 100 feet of me.
No.
Genuinely. No. Because apparently they can
maybe
blast too. Apparently, can't they run like 20 plus miles an hour or something ridiculous like that?
I'm not super up on my hippo knowledge.
That was so good.
But
that was so good.
But
delivery.
Sure. Yeah, they do. They go 20 miles an hour.
Supposedly they kill more humans like combined than any of the big cats or something like that. It's something crazy.
Again, I don't know the answer to that.
This is all entirely hearsay from me here. Like I do not have anything pulled up that would confirm any of what the data I'm saying right now.
Watch us look that up, and it turns out that hippos.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh man,
Mitch, look that up. Max running speed, please. Max running speed of hippos. Me? Okay. That's not slow then.
Is he calling you a hippo?
I don't know. I don't know what that.
Bro, they're ugly. Oh my. Like hippos are ugly.
Yeah, not exactly
like a beautiful
not
creature.
Exactly the sexiness. Like there's not much sexiness that comes with 19 miles an hour.
Off mic. Yeah, Mitchell.
There you go.
Delivers us. So see, look at that, Wurtz. Come on now. Look at that 1 mile.
You study hippos, huh?
I'm a big study guy. Big intelligence guy over here.
You crack me up.
Let's go, dude.
All right, well, that was a good fact.
That was a good fact.
Thank you for that, Mitchell.
Actually, really cool.
We'll talk to you again here in just a few minutes. Yeah. So yes, episode 205 with the Vosa's guys. Yeah, just real quick. If you guys have not listened to episode 205, definitely go back to last week's episode. Give it a listen. Go over to YouTube. Give it a watch if that's how you like to take in the podcast. Because those 2 guys, they killed it. They had never been on a podcast before. They had never, really told their story I don't know if they had ever really told their story at all, like publicly like that, but certainly not in podcast format. And they delivered it in a great way.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Very cool story that they've got that they're building, and to start a brand in high school and to be selling it out of backpacks and whatnot. And then just 3 years later, like not that long, they find themselves inside of S2 and they're working on getting orders from every state. I think at the time of recording here, I want to say they're around 10 now, 10 states.
They might be more than that.
Maybe
honestly.
more.
Yeah. They've been buzzing on it. Awesome.
They have been, but it's just really two really good dudes trying to do something really cool. Are building a great community, and they're very active here in the St. Louis community as well. They're popping up at more events just like we are and things like that. Just really good episode. Highly recommend if you have not.
100%.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, my thought process about that episode was, and you and I have talked about this many times now after the episode, but it's crazy sitting down with two 19-year-olds and you and I, like we always say, we learn a lot from these episodes. I always say that in the guest episodes because it's true.
It is true.
It's true. Like these 19-year-olds, and it's so funny too. So many 45-year-olds with like a regular ass career would just write these dudes off.
100%.
They just ignore every piece of advice that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you have no interest in growth at all if you don't listen to guys like that.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like the amount of balls it takes to take the risks they have at this age. Is very especially
it's admirable,
dude. At that age, like the social pressure too. We talked about it a little bit in the episode, but it's like the social pressure is so high, to where it's like it's weird if you do that. Super weird.
Well, because they're good looking dudes, they're in good shape. Like they could very easily be out in the party scene, being 19 years old, essentially, like just being a 19-year-old kid doing stupid stuff, having fun, quote unquote, having fun and all this stuff. But they don't. They choose not to do that. It's an active choice that they make, and that's also been an active choice that you and I have made as far as that goes. Like we really don't get involved in that type of stuff ever. We did at different points. Nothing like insane, but we did.
Yeah, all things considered compared to what the average thought process about it, nothing insane
exactly.
at all. Yeah, still,
exactly.
We definitely partied a little bit here and there. Yeah, for sure. But it definitely was not anywhere near what you consider normal.
But all in all, really good episode. Two really good guys, easy guys to support.
100%.
And get excited about.
100%. Dude.
So, episode 206, we have another physical vitality episode. One that we've been sitting on for a little bit here, and we want to kind of talk about the difference between working out and training. Okay, and when you hear that, it's like, well, aren't those technically the same thing? Maybe technically, sure, you could argue that, but we're going to dive into each side of that more and kind of compare the two and why you should definitely lean towards the training side rather than just the working out side. We're going to dive into both sides of this and make our advocation for training and really being focused is the big point here. Because a lot of people, and maybe even a lot of you listening or watching, you will fall into the working out category. You and I, we have fallen into the working out category at many different times, throughout our fitness journeys and our lifting, careers and things like that. Everyone falls into that point because you get to a certain point, and we can just start out with the working outside here, but like you get to a point where you fall into going through the motions, and
lack of structure
for sure. You go to the gym, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, and that's great. That's better than zero. But are you really doing dedicated, focused work towards something? And I think most people think they are, because again, they go to the gym on their days and they check that off, but that's all it is it's a checking off of the box, go to the gym, rather than putting in dedicated work towards something that you are working towards, whether that's just a physical goal, you want to change the way you look, whether that's an event of some sort, a competition of some sort, what have you, And the biggest thing is to catch yourself early in that stage to then work out of it and get to a dedicated side of it.
Well, and I want to obviously add a caveat to this too, to where like there are some people that they call it working out, of course, and they are training,
Absolutely.
and that is like, let's not be, we're not being nitpicky here, guys.
No,
The words are not necessarily what we're worried about, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
We're talking about the actions in the gym here, and comparing the actions of working out compared to training.
Yeah. And the attitude towards it too.
100%. Yeah. And speaking of the attitude, on that same note with the working out piece, it's like you said, it's the motions. Like it's like you're just going to continue to go through this like repetitive thing. It's like, well, I just need to work out. I know I need to go in the gym and just get after it a little bit. And that's it. Like you said, especially the no concrete goals piece is an important one as well.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's some times where like it's not necessarily possible to have a set goal sometimes because, and Wurtz, I told you this yesterday. Like yesterday was a 13, 14-hour work day for me. I got done what I could get done. Got down like 35 to 40 minutes of work.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Like it was, don't get me wrong, I was trying to get stronger, of course. I was pushing myself, but it didn't feel like I was having a training session, if that made sense. You know what I mean? So, and that will happen for anybody without a doubt there. But overall, a concrete goal of some sort, whether you go into an S2, get an in-body done, or wherever you have access to an in-body, and you're like, okay, I'm at 18% body fat, I need to get down to 15% body fat. Like even something as simple as just body fat goal.
Absolutely.
You know, that is something you should have on the docket. Okay, let's see, my muscle mass is like very low. I have 80 pounds of muscle mass and I'm a 220 pound person. Okay, we need work to do for sure there. Let's set the next goal at 90 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll take me hopefully 3 to 6 months, you know, if I'm really hitting it. Now, depending on your training age, of course. We're not going to get into the details there, but it is really key because it's so easy to fall into the working out category and not the training because life just beats you down sometimes. Sure. And that's just the truth. Like especially any man listening to this podcast, like, you know, like there is a certain amount more like work stress and just like things you have to consider a lot of the times with that, where as a man, we kind of compartmentalize that and keep that away. Oh, yeah. And we don't realize it's also affecting what we're doing in the gym too, a lot of the times.
And that, really every aspect.
And every aspect for that matter, 100%. And that goes for you and I 100% along with everybody else listening to this too. So again, are we saying you're an idiot if you're going in and just doing your working out and just going through the motion? No, of course not. We're happy you're even doing something, of course, because that's better than 95% of the population. Sure. But we're advocating for then that next step is to get to the training step and to push even harder into something that's real, you know, and real and concrete.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, too, your current goal can be maintenance. Like, that's okay. We're basically saying, as far as the concrete goals piece goes, instead of being like, I know I need to get to the gym because I need to lose weight, it's going and getting an in-body done at S2, or even at this point, you could just be stepping on the scale at home. And it's like, okay, I am 5'10", and I am 248 pounds. Okay, probably too high. My concrete goal is I want to be at 220 pounds. Okay, so you got 28 pounds to lose. That is the concrete goal, rather than just I need to lose weight. Because then if you lose 1 pound, it's like, hey, I lost weight, you know, goal accomplished. Like, well, guess what? You're still way overweight. Okay. So your concrete goal is I need to lose 28 pounds. Then we need to lengthen that goal a little bit. I need to lose 28 pounds, or I want to lose 28 pounds by January 1st.
Yes.
Okay. That's a hefty goal. Being in July.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Impossible? No. But let's just say that's your goal.
But it's doable.
Okay. All right. Now we have a dedicated concrete goal that we can measure every single week. We can measure the
thing from you, so you don't even have to think about it.
No, you just follow the plan.
The how and the time is just taken care of already.
We will help you identify the problem. We will give you the solution. Your job is to execute that. It's a 3-step process here.
By the way, that's any good coach. Any good coach should do that.
It doesn't need to be a 10-step program, a 10-step process just to figure out that you need to lose 28 pounds and how we're going to do it. Okay? It's identify, give the plan, execute said plan. It doesn't need to be any more complicated
and
than
that's concrete.
It is. 100% that's concrete, you know? And if you're training for a specific event, obviously the goals have to be super concrete. You know, if you're training for a powerlifting competition, you have certain numbers that you have to get to in order to compete well at the powerlifting meet. If you are training for a bodybuilding show, you have certain weight, body fat, muscle mass numbers that you need to be at if you want to go out and win that bodybuilding competition.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to run some kind of long endurance race, you have certain numbers that your mile times have to be at if you are going to, one, finish it, and number two, place well if you want to win it, because for those things, like finishing and winning it are two very different goals, and that just depends on the person, obviously. So having concrete goals absolutely will get you into the training side of this conversation, right? And the plan that we just discussed, same thing. Because a lot of people just go into the gym and they just run a little cycle of machines, okay? That's not following a plan. Again, you're there, you are doing some kind of work, and as you mentioned, that's better than basically 95% of the population of the United States, okay? Or you're doing at-home workouts for that matter, okay? That's great. But to a certain point, you're not really doing anything productive if you're not progressing is the biggest key. Progressing on those same machines. Like, okay, you like your little circuit of machines that you do? That's fine. But are you getting heavier? Are you changing the number of reps and the number of sets you're doing, every couple months? If you're not, then you're not really doing anything. You're not working towards anything. You're not following a plan. You're just checking off the box. Again, you're just doing that, and that's not sufficient long term.
Mm-hmm.
If you are just beginning, it's your first week in the gym. Okay, fine. Fine. But again, you will get to a point where that's not sufficient.
100%. Yeah. And that's, again, what you're mentioning too, you mentioned the mile time and the different event times, powerlifting, bodybuilding, endurance events, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you're doing something like what they're doing down in Austin, that Apex athlete event and whatnot. It's an athlete style event for basically retired athletes for that matter. But even if you're training for something like that, you have to treat yourself like an athlete. That's the truth. And everybody knows, what do college and pro athletes do? They have a extremely dialed in plan.
Oh yeah.
Their nutrition's covered. Their training's covered. Their sleep's covered. Their recovery's covered. Oh, you name it. I could probably keep going on things that would be in there. Mobility. I mean, you could throw in random little pieces like that, accessory stuff like that too. To where if you really are serious and you want to stand out even more so than that 95%, because by the way, if you're listening to this podcast, I believe you probably do want to stand out even more so, especially if you want to come to our men's workouts. We know you men want to stand out even more so too.
Yeah.
And it needs to be treated like you want to stand out.
Yeah.
You can't just go through the motions if you want to stand out.
No.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work. No, and again, keep in mind, we've talked about athletes like Nathan McKinnon and how dialed in he keeps the entire team because he does it too. Yeah. Same idea. Like these guys don't win Stanley Cups. They don't win championships magically. Jordan Walker didn't make a huge stride this season.
Yeah.
Not only winning the home run derby, but just playing like a monster this season. Yeah. By just dicking around in the offseason.
100%. That's a great point, dude.
I mean,
you want to talk about, that's a perfect example of that.
Like think about how much of a change he's made.
Big time.
It's insane.
Big time.
And again, I don't think a lot of people can, if they're going to Busch Stadium and watching a game, I don't think you comprehend what this guy probably did in the offseason.
Right.
They
don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you worked on Matt Adams' hitting team. You know what I mean? So it's like, you see the detail these guys put into this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Especially with baseball, with how technical that sport is.
Sure.
And I'm assuming you've mentioned it before, that it's like Jordan, you said he changed up something in his swing too, I believe,
or
something like that as well.
Path work,
And that alone is so detailed. You know what I mean? So, and that's
because you're getting down to literal angles.
You're talking about literal biomechanics. Yeah.
Literally though, and say, pitcher, excuse me, pitchers do the same thing. You're talking about different arm angles, different release points, what they do in their setup on the straight. There's all kinds of things, and this isn't a baseball podcast, but your point is absolutely correct. Keep going.
Yeah, and on that same point too, it's not with the pitchers and with guys like Jordan Walker too. It's not only just the baseball stuff. Again, we're talking about these guys are not going and eating McDonald's and crushing it multiple times a week. Yeah. It's just not happening.
You don't think Patrick Mahomes' recovery from the ACL right now is extremely dialed in? You know what I mean?
You don't think he's just hoping for the best?
Yeah, right. I hope it heals.
I went to an insurance-based PT and just hope for the best.
Right.
That's not what's happening at all.
And listen, guys, we are not saying and or comparing you guys listening or ourselves to these high-level athletes, okay? We are just making the point that they are where they are because they have dialed in programs,
Mhm.
programs covering all the bases, not just in the gym. That's the overall point here.
Mhm.
Is we're not saying your goal needs to become the next big leaguer, right? We're not saying you need to go out and win Stanley Cups. That's your goal? Great. We will help you get to that. Okay. We have the receipts to be able to do stuff like that.
Mhm.
But the overall point can be used for anybody. And that is follow a dedicated plan.
Mhm.
Even if your goal is maintenance for a certain period of time, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. And as a matter of fact, there should be times of maintenance throughout a year cycle. But maintenance goal doesn't equal going through the motions. It's still intentful in and out of the gym.
Mhm.
That's what this comes down to. And if you're going to fall into the training side of this conversation, it starts with that. That's been the theme this entire episode so far, the 20 minutes that we've been talking or whatever. That has been the theme, is following a plan, having concrete goals, identifying weaknesses and problems that exist in your life, essentially, but especially inside the gym or physically, and then finding solutions to those problems and then executing on those solutions. Because you can identify the problem. Man, I'm fat. And then you can go to a coach and coach writes a great program. Okay, there he goes. But if you don't execute on that, guess what? You're still fat.
Mhm.
And I think most people know that. I think most people know at least the habits that they need to change to make those physical changes or to reach those physical goals. It's just, are you willing to do the work?
Yep.
I
would argue 100% yes to that. I mean, again, I've had, because I can't eat for you.
Yeah, right.
I can't decide to put down the caffeine past 7 p.m. You know what I mean?
That's a crazy one.
Insane. I can't decide to be like, okay, I'm going to have my last caffeinated drink by noon, by 1. I can't decide to be like, okay, I'm going to instead choose to buy a really good haul from Costco of chicken, turkey, beef, and then also the good carbs, the rices, the potatoes. I can't go into Costco and buy that stuff for you. Curry. Interesting. Our producer had some thoughts about that one too. Curry.
If you know, you know.
That's a crazy if you know, you know. That's insane if you know, you know. Oh my God. Wouldn't recommend the curry in that equation.
Then don't go to Costco.
Just because you get a lot of curry at Costco. That's for damn sure. But anyways, Costco, if you want to eat like a normal person, is a really great option. But yeah, you do get a lot of curry there for sure too. But anyways, yes. So I cannot go and purchase your groceries for you.
Right.
That would be actually ridiculous. I can't go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock and wake up at 6 or 7, get 8 hours of sleep that way for you. I can't do that.
You're going to go tuck them in.
Exactly. That might as well be what some people would think. You know what I mean? 100%.
Knock on the door.
Exactly.
Bedtime.
Exactly. Yep. All right. We're going to call them. Yep. You going to bed?
Go to bed.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's not what you hired me to do at all. You didn't hire me to be your executive assistant.
It's going to cost a lot more if you are trying to have me do that.
You alone are paying my yearly salary.
Correct.
For that. And it's going to be like $150,000 plus a year if you want me to do that.
Right.
Exactly. So, and 100%, like this, again, if we're talking real coaches as well, like that is, any real coach knows that. It's like our job is to change habits.
Mm-hmm.
It is not just to have a program and then you go hope for the best. You have to be honest with those clients that join. It's like, hey, yeah, look, if you decide to take Untapped Tier 3 online training, it's a pre-made program.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing from us hands-on there.
Yeah, right.
You have to decide to take this program and execute it every day yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It is on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's our cheapest option, but for a reason.
Exactly.
Because you don't get the hands-on.
Yeah.
Our next option at Tier 2, okay, yeah, we write your program very detailed for you, which is awesome. And we do a great job of that.
Yeah.
But once again, it does not include hands-on coaching and calls from us to then keep you accountable. Right. You have to do that yourself.
Right.
But then you go to the next tier, and that elite tier. That is when we're talking at Tier 1. Okay, we can hands-on get on a call with you. But even still, if we get on a call with you and then you go fuck off right after that with your diet, you won't get results.
Exactly.
We can't handhold you. That's the truth. And by the way, these athletes at these highest levels that we're talking about also don't get handheld. These coaches can't put food in their mouth for them.
Right.
They can't.
Right.
They can't decide to change the way they throw the ball at those highest levels for pitchers for them. The pitchers have to listen to them and actually execute them themselves.
Exactly.
Again, that's why people. The sad part is in a lot of ways, like especially with things like GLP-1s and the Ozempics, the Zepbounds, the Mounjaros, all that stuff. People hear that type of stuff. They hear some people think of like chiropractic, for example, as you get popped and you heal yourself, which is just ridiculous. And any good chiropractor would tell you that's also not how it works either, by the way. But people assume these things off of these, the pills and then the injections and all this stuff. They think testosterone just makes you jacked right away. You don't even have to do any work with it, that type of stuff. Again, so then they take training and they assume the same thing.
Yeah.
They start training with a coach online or in person, and they assume that just because they're training with a coach, just paying that coach, that magically their results are going to occur. It's like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's also not how it works at any point in time at all.
Right.
Just because you're in insurance and you get a client that you're doing insurance work for or something like that, just because they hired you to do insurance work, if you don't do the work that you're supposed to do, their insurance claim is not going to go through.
Yeah.
Same idea. And that's a stupid example, of course, because we don't care about insurance here. But like still, the point remains, it's like, that's not how you execute.
Yeah.
It's just not how the world works at all. You are the one doing the work. So if you want to be the person who's training and not working out, you have to be structured and detailed yourself. And again, don't get me wrong. Does a coach make that easier? Absolutely it does.
For sure. And that's what we're advocating for.
And by the way, also, we would sit here and say a coach for us also makes things easier too.
Yeah.
Whenever we follow programs and whatnot from other coaches, whenever we get mentoring from other coaches, again, both of us have sat down with Vex for business coaching.
Exactly.
And that's made business easier for us.
Yes.
Operator Standard with Andy has made business easier for us because
time.
it's basically a built-in business coach.
Yeah.
So we're doing this stuff. But again, if we don't execute the task from Operator Standard or we don't execute the stuff that Vex gave us in these meetings and whatnot, then nothing happens.
Right.
Nothing occurs.
And the key with those two examples you just gave, Operator Standard, Jeff, and the plenty of other people that we have, John Fogarty is another great example
100%.
for this.
Yeah.
We take the information, we take the answers to our questions. With Operator Standard, we take the tasks, we take the information that Arcane has given us, the answers that Arcane is giving us, and things like that. Did I just repeat myself? I might have. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't think so.
And we utilize that, is the point. We don't just take it all in and it's like, oh yeah, like John told me that. And then that's it.
$2 million in the bank.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But that's the idea. It's like, oh, I hired a coach, so why haven't I lost weight? Well, it's been a week. And number two, you still are getting McDonald's on your way home from work.
Or the gas station like rolls.
Yeah, no, literally.
Like the egg rolls. Some of them are like taquitos.
Yeah. No, exactly. So it's like, okay, yeah, you hired a coach. You're going to see him 3 times a week.
You still haven't walked once.
But you haven't gone for a walk.
Like we told you to walk 3 times a week. You didn't walk once.
You're not going to the grocery store and getting the things that I have suggested you go and get. You're not doing that. You're still eating the frozen pizzas. I get it. The frozen pizza's easy, man. It's easy. And every once in a while, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I do sometimes. And it's good.
Yeah, we can fit in the program.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And it takes 10 minutes, instead of cooking out a whole meal for that night or cooking out a whole week's worth of meals. I get it. I do. I promise you. I'm the most routine guy in the world and I still get it. Okay. But the point is when you are paying money or you are taking someone's time, in our instances here, you have to utilize the information correctly. And the information could be the program. It could be the in-person sessions. It could be the recommendations for outside of the gym. You have to take that and you have to use that correctly to your advantage to get the results that you want. Same thing we are doing with OS. Same thing we've done with the stuff from Jeff, from John, from whoever.
100%.
It's just the fact of the matter here.
That's training.
Yes.
That's training is
100%.
Structure, detail, going hard as hell.
Yeah.
Intensity.
Yes.
Intention.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes.
It's all these things.
Yeah.
Progression.
And complaining to us or complaining just in general, like,
whatever coach you have for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like if you are not executing on the solution to the identified problem, this is going backwards now on those 3, the problem is still you. That's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all I got. 100%.
Yeah.
It's money.
All right, guys. At the end of all of our non-guest episodes, Money Mitch over here will ask us a Q&A question, which is submitted by you guys, the listeners, or the viewers. Now, a few quick ways that we want you to submit these to us. Number one, you can DM them to us on Instagram at untapped.llp. You can DM them to either one of us individually. You can text them to us as well. You can email the questions into untappedllp@gmail.com. Finally, you can leave them in the comments on any of our social media posts. We are active on all the major social media platforms. These questions could be about anything, guys. Health and fitness related, current event related, funny. It doesn't really matter. All of them get sent over to Money Mitch. And then at the end of the episode, he will ask one of the questions. Money Mitch, what do you got for us?
Why do you think most people rely on plans that are being told to them by other people? Like, why can't most people be a self-starter and say, oh, I'm going to make my own workout plan, or, I'm going to make my own task list for the day, right? What's the drive for people to go out and get these external plans from external people?
It's a good question. An answer that immediately comes to mind, and it's an example of you and me, is, so we mentioned operator standard earlier. In the previous version of the tech, we set our own tasks each day. In the newest version of it, Arcane, the brain behind all of this, now sets them for us based on the conversations and the goals that we have with it.
Mm-hmm.
When we were setting them ourselves, we were setting entirely too easy of tasks a lot of the times. I won't say every day or every single task or anything like that, but we were not utilizing it to the best of our ability. I'm at fault for that. You're at fault for that. We both are, because we wanted to be able to check off the tasks each day and get the W for the day, and get the XP and feel good about getting points, right? Mm-hmm. And we were entirely missing the point of it, quite honestly. And so now that Arcane has set those tasks for us, again, based on what we are wanting to do and build, those tasks are way more intentful. I'll go back to that word. It's not that they're harder or easier. They're more involved, I would say now, but they are actually moving us in the directions that we want to go. Mm-hmm. To whereas a lot of the ones that we would set for ourselves were not, mm-hmm. And a lot of times it would be things that we were already going to do that day anyway, mm-hmm. So now granted, that I guess that doesn't really answer the question, because your question was, why don't people just do it themselves compared to paying for something? Well, we were already paying for that, but we weren't utilizing it correctly. So therefore we weren't really getting any results from it, And now that it has been upgraded and it's like, no, I'm going to make the plan for you. Here's the actual answer. I'm going to make the plan for you. Now we are executing on that plan and we are moving forward. And so I think that's a perfect example of something like that. Yeah, of course, anyone could write themselves a workout plan. A few episodes back, we said for push-pull legs, it's like in the movement, are you pushing the weight towards you or are you pulling it towards you? Okay. You could make your own workout plan based on just that type of thinking. Okay. If I want to do push-pull legs 3 days a week in the gym, in this movement, am I pushing it? Okay. Yeah, I'll fit that into the push day. Yeah, you could do that. But are you actually going to get the results that you want to get? Do you know the actual thought process behind coming up with a program? No, you don't. And that's okay, because it's not what you do. Mm-hmm. This is what we do, by the way. So we are really good at it.
There's a reason we do it for a career. For sure. Yeah.
We've been doing it for a long time between the two of us. Mm-hmm. A long time. All different types of people. Men, women, athletes, not athletes. Weight loss, weight gain. We've seen just about it all. Mm-hmm. And so that is why people pay for it, is because at the end of the day, they know they don't have the knowledge to correctly execute on something like that, to build a plan correctly. And so they will pass that off to someone that they can pay to do that for them. It takes the thinking out of it. And then it's dummy proof.
Yep.
Do what this says for Monday. Like this right here, just do that over and over and over again.
Yeah. Actually, that's funny enough. That's exactly where I was going to go, is the reason people pay, whether it's, trainers, coaches, whether it's business mentors, whether it's, career mentors, whether it's realtors to sell your house for you, that
Sure.
type of stuff, whatever. It's lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
100%. And that's not a roast.
No, not at all.
There's no if you don't do exercise science, like you don't go to college for exercise science, you don't actually take a training certification, you don't have experience training people, that type of stuff. Of course, yeah, you don't know how to write a program as well.
Right.
You don't know how to execute on nutrition and sleep and recovery as well. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
For that matter. I mean, I would argue yes to that, 100%. So the reason you would pay for that is to then have the thought process done for you, like you're saying. Again, like you said, Monday, here's plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do plan.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, literally.
That's it. You
Literally.
know? And that's all it is.
Mhm.
And that's exactly why we like Arcane.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
once again, and funny enough, that is also why we decided to sit down in business mentorship meetings with guys like Vex and Fogarty,
Mhm.
because we knew we would get an exact blueprint of what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it's more of like an overall idea with those two,
Exactly.
like obviously Jeff also being a coach, like he can get very specific with certain things because we have a lot of things that are similar, and then John, it's just a different version of that, in other ways, and
It's still in the health field.
Oh,
but,
yeah. And I just mean literal business things.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like
100%
he's
back end stuff. Yeah.
he's able to give really concrete ideas on the more, business type aspects that Vex maybe had to learn from someone else, or he just had to learn through experience. And that's not to say that he can't give us that type of advice. John's just really good at conveying that type of stuff, and all of you probably have someone like that for yourself.
100%.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is talking about guys like Vex and Fogarty too, is they even talked about mentors they had as well.
Yes.
Who gave them a blueprint. So they had their version. Ours is not only them two, but also something like Arcane. They didn't have something like Arcane.
No.
But they had directed business mentors they could also pay in that scenario too.
Yeah.
Just like you, if you have no clue what you're doing with fitness, you can pay a coach and again, a good reputable coach. Because that is the downside, and we've said that before. The sad part about the fitness industry is, and this is me entirely making up a number here, but in my personal experience, at most 10% of coaches are useful. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. It kind of comes off that way a little bit, but it's just true. If we're talking about people that actually care in the fitness industry and then also at the same time care and can get results, it's not a high percentage.
Right.
It really isn't.
Right.
So you pay a coach that's that good to get you those results.
Mm-hmm.
But again, still on the same note, yes, like we talked about, you have to follow the plan, of course. But that's why I would say people are doing this type of stuff and, have mentors and or have something like a system like Arcane that they can follow as well.
Yeah.
Because it just makes things a lot more straightforward and it lets you execute on a basis that you can follow directly.
Yeah.
Again, if you can execute a program, somebody wrote you out, you're going to do it exactly how the coach says.
Yeah.
Okay, easy. Great. Oh, if Arcane tells us to reach out to 10 people on social media, says reach out to people that are high income and they have high income following.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not exactly unclear.
Sweet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. One of the things Vex told me in one of my meetings with him, actually, funny enough, he literally goes, post every single client you train. I go, oh, okay. Well, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yep, it's pretty easy.
Got it.
And that's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
No.
You know what I mean? So,
and sometimes it just takes someone telling you that to do it.
right, 100%.
You knew it was a good idea to post the clients that you train, but it's for someone else to just tell you something that maybe you already kind of knew.
A guy who trains thousands of athletes, by the way. You know what I mean?
Right.
100%.
Right. Exactly. It's, yeah.
Business stuff is just, again, it goes back, for us especially, it's lack of knowledge.
For sure.
Just nobody, as we talked about, nobody in college, high school, nobody really teaches business.
It's
100%.
a family of entrepreneurs and things like that, you know. And to be fair, also, we didn't seek it out, So maybe it did exist. Probably not. But we didn't seek it out either. Now we seek it out with intent, coming back to that word yet again, in order to give us a path, give us, a plan with Arcane. If we're confused about something with Arcane, we literally can ask it, how should we do X? And it says, here's how you do that.
Yep.
Do this. And then it'll literally say, stop typing and go do it. If you keep going with it, it's He basically tells you to shut up and go execute.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
He's an
But
asshole.
like,
Yeah.
it's not wrong,
Yeah.
because the more I'm sitting here asking it stupid questions is less time that I'm spending on doing the thing.
Andy in your pocket. It's like, shut the hell up, Andy. You idiot. It's like, no shit, buddy. Oh man. But it's funny. Like on that last note there, like I will say, if you do not have a coach of some sort in some aspect of your life, you are missing out. Not
Big
even
time.
just training, but again, for us, like if we didn't have business coaches, we'd be missing out.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think if you're in your career and you want to get better at your career, you should have a coach of some sort you've hired.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because 100% your earning potential goes up in that scenario too.
Yeah. It makes you way more valuable.
100%. I mean, my earning potential after meeting with Vex and using Arcane and whatnot with in-person and online stuff has gone up because
Absolutely.
of that. It gives me a chance to provide for my family more because of that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear. Like that's the thing is, again, you and I have talked about it too before. Like when we've also coached ourselves as well and done that with intent as well for ourselves when it comes to fitness, our results are always better.
Oh yeah.
Same idea.
You and I, as far as like being in the gym and fitness related things, like we're willing to try just about anything to see if it works.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll buy in for 8 weeks to this type of program.
Outside of like functional patterns or
Well, if it works, great. If it doesn't, okay, that's fine. Because I still got better in the way of knowledge.
Yep.
So
100%.
absolutely. All right, guys, that is episode 206. July Standard Setter is when this releases this coming Saturday at S2HQ. Hopefully by now our graphic is out announcing time and where to meet.
So I believe that original post that they had with the S2 with the S2 Chessfield guys we collabed with, I believe it says 7 a.m. on there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't quote me, but
okay. Anyway,
just assume if it's the S2, they want to go earlier.
Yeah,
A
right.
lot of times, by the way,
Right.
because they open their stores at 9, they want more
Sure.
guys there, that type of stuff too. So
so yeah, that's this coming Saturday. Let us know if you're coming. Free to join, of course, all that type of stuff.
men, women, whatever. Yeah.
Men and women. Yep. Sign up for the email newsletter that is in our Beacons link. Goodness. Which is in our Instagram bio. Click that link. Second one down, I believe, is the sign up for the email newsletter. Again, that's something free where we give out extra free game. I don't think there's anything else coming up that we need to announce.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I think we're good. Episode 206, guys. Share the show. Until next time, peace and love.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.